Okay. Covered. Change my blade here from a Halvin knife. Need something a little sharper. I need to find a good way to dispose of old blades. We'll start on this side. There's one. Gonna need a lot for what I have planned. I just have to cut a bunch of strips. This one up here will be good. Alright, we'll start with that and we'll see how far we get. Probably cut this knob off. probably going to take more than I think. It's probably enough for one, maybe. That was about right. Probably still not enough. It's going to be a pretty involved process. actually. Yeah, it's not bad. We will throw some sand in that. We're just gonna have to dunk it. And once it's dry, we'll seal it. Not bad. I think I can fit one. It's just gonna be a little bit of an involved process. So I think from this point forward, I'm just gonna start cutting them. Sprue is a great tool. Just might take a lot of it. that's probably another base worth. Oh, hey, Raincloud. Back to YouTube. Yeah, I shrunk the chat. I didn't realize I shrunk it. That was purely accidental. Simple solution. There. That better? Pay attention to me. Okay, calm down. What are you painting? I'm not painting at the moment. I'm making bases. Ooh, I messed that up. I'm trying some new basing methods that I've never done before for my death company, for the Sons of Sorrow. I'm trying to make some cobblestone. I saw somebody, actually I've seen a lot of people make cool cobblestone out of cut up spruce, and so I'm attempting that. I want him to paint you. No. I don't want that. Can I rescind that? French Space Marines. Off the top of my head, they don't exist, but I'm 100% positive that they do. I mean, shoot, my Terminus Knights are German. I need to cut smaller pieces. Yeah, the Death Company are essentially Marines, specifically Blood Angels, who have fallen to what is known as the Black Rage. So they suffer from extreme hallucinations where they believe themselves to be Sanguinius at the moment of his death, and they perceive everything and everyone around them as Horus. Sure, they exist. They colonize the galaxy alongside the Brits and the Spanish. I mean, yeah, that's perfectly possible. I mean, it actually is, because every planet that the Imperium... Ooh, I dropped it. Every planet that the Imperium has, I mean, they were originally settled by colonists in the Golden Age, with the Dark Age of technology. I think that one will work. Probably should have put another one there, but it's okay. It won't matter once I seal it. It's not jank enough. I'm gonna have to make them smaller. It's too linear. Fix that for the next one. I might have enough for another one. Do you want an honest answer to that? I may actually be workshopping another Loyalist homebrew because I was listening to some White Scars lore. I was thinking, I really want to start a White Scar successor. So I'm starting a White Scar successor. So, yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm basically making them to be, think Indiana Jones, the Space Marine chapter. I mean, that's what the stream is for. It could be. Might have to cut some more. Mummy-themed Space Marines. Not quite. They're not really interested in like ancient ruins and things like that, but I'm writing them to be particularly founded to find lost relics from the Dark Age of Technology. And I'm currently trying to decide on a founding. I don't know if I want them to be an Ultima founding chapter, so fairly new, and them be like something that Gilliman was like, hey, we need to find this old stuff at a much, much faster rate. So, High Lords, reprove this right now and get on it. Or if I want them to be older, to the point where they already have found some things and gave them to the Imperium, and whenever they give them to the Imperium, the Mechanicus is like, hey, you find old technology, mind if we get in on that? Here, have all this super rare armor and war gear, and you just keep doing what you're doing. It's kind of the direction I want to lean. If you mix treasure hunting with Space Marines, then what do you get? Mummy-themed Space Marines, what the heck? They're not mummy-themed. They're Indiana Jones-ish. Naturally, they have no concern for human life whatsoever. So they won't be afraid to absolutely decimate a planet in order to recover a relic. What kind of old tech? So, remember when I told you the other night about the guardsmen who found the STC that made really good combat knives? Kind of like that. Or, they're not Mummy Space Marines. They're descended from the White Scars, so they're honorable warriors, but they also happen to be quote-unquote treasure hunters. So, equipment from the Dark Age of Technology is whenever humanity was at its peak in creating technology before the actual Dark Age happened and the Age of Strife occurred, where Slaanesh was born and the rift or the warp storms happened and cut off the remaining Imperium, and everything just went into disarray and invention was made illegal, and everything degraded. Oh yes, the guardsmen that found the STDs and made knives of them. Hold on. What? like I said, I haven't written a ton of lore for them yet. They're still a work in progress. I have a paint scheme in my head. So that'll be something that'll happen at some point, probably my next Space Marine purchase. I mean, it would be effective. Nurgle would love that. Not gonna lie. Because Nurgle is the god of both pestilence and rebirth. So he kind of falls under both of those categories. I'm working on writing it. I started it last night. I'm naming... Their chapter name is the Reliquary Brotherhood. Do you have a place to share your chapter lore? I mean, I have a Google Doc that I can send you, but it's very minimal right now. I'm not going to be... Nurgle is the walking STD maker. Yeah, that's valid. Very, very valid. I feel like this lore is getting much deeper. Deeper than what? Choose your words wisely. Oh, they're also a fleet-based chapter, so they don't have a home world. They live on their battle barges, and they recruit from whatever planet they want. You should find a place to share your fan lore. I mean, I'm a part of a bunch of Discords that do fan stuff, but usually if you submit something, it doesn't always get the most attention. So I just don't really bother. I kind of just keep it all to myself. And I just talk about it. Because you'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 people's attention, if that. Shave this off a little bit. It's more fun if you don't choose my words. That's true. $40K OnlyFans. I don't know if that's wise. That's no fun. Yeah, I'd like to share it with people, but I can't really get anyone to pay attention to it or contribute, quote unquote. Because it would be even more fun if I had people to write alongside with. Because I'm writing up an entire sector and systems within that sector, specifically for my chapters and warbands. And I have written that in their current timeline, a lot of them are together in various locations. Like this new one, the Reliquary Brotherhood. The Emperor approves. That's what streams are for. 40K left. Not this one. Unless we're exposing deep lore. Now I can talk about it on here. I'm not afraid of that. Talk about them until I'm blue in the face, because 5 homebrews, that's a lot of area for speaking. if I was any kind of animator, then I would make like full-on lore videos about them. Lore and painting both? Both is good. Yeah, that's my goal. That's what I'd like to do here, is talk lore, canon, and homebrew, while also modeling and painting. In this case, modeling, because I really want to try these base ideas. Not that I don't have shelves full of things to paint. Both is good. I wonder why Streamlabs is not showing me my current viewer count. Interesting. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just caffeinating. Streamlabs view counter is weird. Well, I haven't had any problems with it before, but right now it's showing me 0, and I know for a fact that there are not 0. Where'd my knife go? Oh, it's right here. What have you got? A knife! So does this dude. This dude has one of the knives that were made by the STC that were found. If it'll focus. Made by the STC that were found. And he's Death Company, so I... Cracking a cold one, are we? No. Well, yes, but it's caffeine, so don't worry about it. I've been awake since like 3 o'clock this morning, so calm down. You think it only shows the max you've had or something? Well, usually it shows the... he is armed. Usually it shows the current viewer count. I don't know why it's not. Whatever. Okay. Let's make another one. Oh yeah, the Death Company using the knife STDs. Well, I don't have... The reason I went with the normal intercessors, so Death Company intercessors that have bolters, is because I didn't have any assault intercessors, because I wanted to give them all chain swords, because that's much more Death Company-esque. But they didn't... I just didn't have any. I got the box without thinking, because I wanted some normal intercessors for my Sons of Sorrow, and I got them, and I was like, wait a minute, I can make them Death Company. And I was like, wait, Death Company have intercessors and assault intercessors? And so, yeah, these are just going to be Death Company intercessors. But they're basically one-time use Marines after they fall to the Black Rage. I gave up on relying on Streamlabs counter. Just look at the YouTube number. Yeah, that's what I just did. So they follow the Black Rage, and they're basically just berserkers at that point, because there's no coming back from the Black Rage. There is one Blood Angel ever who has been documented as coming back and regaining his consciousness, but he became like a super psyker, and now he's the chief librarian of the Blood Angels. His name's Mephiston. And yeah, so, and for them, if I want them to be somewhat functional, they have to have a chaplain leading them to keep them like somewhat in line, like to do the objectives they're supposed to do instead of just going absolutely berserk. So I'm probably gonna have to get a chaplain at some point. I might get some more regular intercessors and paint them in my new color scheme for the Reliquary Brotherhood, because I'm kind of excited to try that one. Normal is 40k. They don't know what the word means. I mean, there is normal for 40k, which is usually death and destruction. Oh, that's not where I wanted that, but that's where it's going. I do officially, after I get all these guys done, I'll have 1,000 points for the Sons of Sorrow, which was my goal. I'd like to get all of my homebrews at least over 1,000 points and then keep building them from there. Right now, just the Sons of Sorrow and the Fervent Storm are over 1,000. And then I'll have to get all of them painted, which the color scheme for Death Company is really simple. And then I've got to paint my Blade Guard veterans. I have one more Incursor that I have to paint. And I have one more Assault Intercessor with Jump Pack I have to paint. And then one more Captain with Jump Pack that I have to paint, who is Captain Godund, who is a named character within my lore. Okay, I'm gonna head out. Gotta go back to being a dumb adult. Whatever. I see how it is. That's 4 out of 10. Thak, if you're still here, how was your stream earlier? I didn't get to tune in because I was doing adult things. Go for a different sprue. Okay. Next. Another one. I always struggle getting just enough. Because I never know if it's too much or not enough. Like right there, I know it's not going to be enough. I have an idea. It's going to be a little weird. I want to try it. It'll have to be on one of the wider stance intercessors. So somebody like him. I think I can make it work. So I'm going to try putting some cork down. A little bit smaller. Something like that, maybe? Maybe it's something he's straddling. would be big enough for his feet. As I dropped one. Oh, where'd it go? My floor is dark. It's just sprue. I can cut some more. Okay. Cut this one in half. We'll call that good. Well, it's fine. As long as nothing falls off. Need some gravity on my side. Not bad. Do we need to go through and cut some more now, though? Cut it myself. Okay. Definitely gonna need more sprue than that. See what else we can squeeze out of this. How's everybody else doing? That'll work. Not enough for one more, though. Yeah, I was saying earlier how simple Death Company are to paint. Black and red. These are for my homebrew Blood Angels. So there'll be some silver involved too, but that shouldn't be a big deal because it's just going to be on the left pauldron. I didn't realize what a process this would be, just cutting out the sprue. What's everyone's favorite chapter, just out of curiosity? Anyone who feels so inclined to answer, unless you're a Xenos lover. Warbands count too, in my opinion. Just FYI. Word bearers. Thanks for chatting, by the way, Ballistic. Or Bullstick. Ballistic? Ballistic. Got you. Why word bearers? If you don't mind my asking. Any particular warband of word bearers, or just the word bearers as the Legion? They are 17, is that correct? Ah, the scheme. They do have a 6 scheme. I thought about doing one of my homebrew chapters in the red and silver, but I didn't want to copy them. Favorite colors. Very nice. Does any of the lore appeal to you, or are you just strictly, they look awesome, so they're my favorite? If that's the only reason, I mean, I'm not judging. Because there are plenty of color schemes out there that I think are absolutely awesome, but I have no desire to paint them. The Lamenters being the main one. I'm kind of a simp for the Lamenters. That's why one of my successors is a Lamenter's successor. But I refuse to do the checkerboard. And it's taken me forever to workshop a good yellow color scheme. Painting wise, anyway. I mean, they seem to be the only guys having a good time. I can't argue with that. I mean, they are the ones who are like, hey, chaos is cool. Everyone else should do it. Do the chaos. I can't disregard that in the least. I do suppose you're right. They're one of the only legions of the original 20 who don't absolutely despise their existences. Especially out of the traders. Anybody else? What other favorites do we have out there? I'm just curious. I am currently having a hard time painting the trim. Trim can be difficult. I've discovered when painting Chaos Trim that if you make a little mistake, sometimes it's easier to cover whenever you go over it with a wash. So like Nuln Oil. But that's just my experience. My homebrew warband, the Fervent Storm, they have silver trim, and yeah, it's just been a lot easier to cover up the mistakes. Been on the same Combat Patrol box for like 6 months. Listen, I've had the Blood Angels, the last Blood Angels Combat Patrol, since December of 2023. And I'm still not done painting it. They're all primed, but they are not all painted. I also split them up between 2 different homebrew chapters. So I have my Sons of Sorrow, who are actual Blood Angels. And then my Terminus Knights, who I gave some of those models as well. Which was probably a bad idea in the long run, but I don't really play the tabletop. I just like writing lore and doing homebrew stuff and modeling and painting and coming up with schemes and writing characters. So as far as the tabletop itself goes, it's not really a concern for me. I want to use my spray can, but it's been too windy outside. Yeah, I feel that. I'm in the same boat. I'm lucky I have a shed outside my house that I can go in. And it's an open shed, but it's just enough out of the wind that I can prime. Because I use strictly rattle can primers. Because I don't have an airbrush. But are you talking just painting them the deep red or maroon Or are you talking about the primer? Just primer? Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Once I get these guys all based and stuff, I don't know when I'm going to be able to go out and prime them. It's going to be a minute. But I need to get some new primer too, because I usually just use Army Painter Gray. And then I go over them with the base coat that I want, which for these guys will be black. Because gray is pretty easy to put a dark base coat on. And I personally don't like using primers as the base coat, so like a black primer, because it's really hard to get in all the nooks and crannies with rattle can primer. So I like being able to go over it with a base coat. I paint them burnt red, then wash them with a black wash, and it turns out really well. I like that idea. What wash do you use? Is it, I forget the name of it off the top of my head. It's a Vallejo wash. This weekend I plan on try sponge painting. I actually really like sponge painting. I've done that for my World Eaters warband. Start with the darker color and then gradually get lighter. It adds a lot of depth. And then I go over it with a watered down wash. For them, I go, I'm trying to remember, I think it's 1 to 2 water and Agrax Earthshade. Just to kind of shade the recesses. Tamiya black panel liner. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know which one that is. I've never used it, but I've seen plenty of other guys use it. Is the Combat Patrol the only box of units you have, or do you have more units for your word bearers? You have way too much crap to paint. I feel that. Yeah, you don't want to look at the shelf behind me. There's a lot of unpainted stuff. Which, if I had more hours in the day, I would definitely paint. And if I didn't have to build these guys right now, I'd probably be painting one of them right now. But it's fine. It's not a big deal. You got the new Chaos Lord? Is that the one with the hammer? You really like the new Horus Heresy? No, with a whip. What is that one? I'm not familiar with that one. It's the one pointing forward. I'm gonna have to look that up. Because I have the one with the hammer. The only other one I can think of is Chaos Lord with Jump Pack. Trader Overseer Console. I'm gonna look that up real quick. That's the one with the whip. Oh, that is sick. And the new Chaos Lord is the one with the Power Fist and the Chain Axe. Oh, I know which one you're talking about now. I have seen that. Oh, that Overseer is sweet. That would be a cool proxy, in my opinion. Do some kit bashing on that bad boy. Yeah, if I got that thing, I'd definitely use him as maybe a Master of Executions or something. I'm not sure. I have a Master of Executions that I proxied for my World Eaters. But I have all my World Eaters listed as CSM because they have Raptors, and current World Eaters can't take Raptors, but I wanted Raptors in my World Eaters. I'll go ahead and show it to you. So my World Eaters are afflicted by Nurgle too, so I've done a lot of Death Guard kit bashing with World Eaters. So this is my Master of Executions. I'm kind of proud of him. He turned out incredible. no complaints about him whatsoever. I forget the name of the Death Guard unit that I used to kit bash him. Because I was at a game store and I wanted to get something and I didn't know what to get. So I just saw this dude and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that. And then I just put the axe on him from the Plague Marines box. And I just put a World Eater's head on him. And I painted him in World Eater colors. And then covered him with blood because that's what World Eaters do. I also got the Horus Heresy Iron Warriors Warsmith. I forget the name of it. I'll have to look it up real quick. But here's my Chaos Lord. It's the Chaos Lord with the hammer. Also afflicted by Nurgle, hence the spores and stuff. I wrote them, they're called bone spores. So they grow from their bones through their flesh and through their armor. That's why they're a little bloody. And then the green glow is supposed to be Nurgle stuff. But yeah, this is my Chaos Lord for them. You have the Space Marines versus Death Guard Combat Patrol. Yeah, that Chaos Lord I was gonna get, but good thing I waited. Yeah, I kind of wish I did wait because the Chain Axe would be a lot more relevant to World Eaters. Hang on a sec, I'm looking up what this model was called. There's so many character units for Death Guard. Foul Blightspawn. That's what it was. So I got a Foul Blightspawn. And then, yeah, did my magic. Because he's supposed to have a Plague Grenade of some sort. I think that's what it is. And, yeah, I cut that off and I took the axe and I made it into a giant cleaver. And then covered it in blood because corn. Space Marine vs. Death Guard Combat Patrol. How old is that? Because I've seen it before, but I can't think of when it came out. Because GW doesn't like to come out with 2 army boxes at the same time for a reasonable price. Like, I'd love some Space Marines versus Chaos at a reasonable, reasonable, affordable price, but we're talking about GW here. But right now, all you can get is Space Marines versus Tyranids. And I don't really like Xenos that much. So it's fairly new. Only a few months old. Maybe I missed that one. I do like me some Chaos. I like human-based armies. Hence why I have only Chaos and Loyalists. And I'd love to homebrew a Guard regiment, but you have to spend so much money on Guard that I have no idea, or no desire. Not Combat Patrol, it's Kill Team, okay. Well, you can do some stuff with base 40k with Kill Team models too. I really ought to look into Kill Team a little bit more. Not necessarily the game, but the model line. Because usually the only thing I pay attention to is 40k and Horus Heresy. because I like using horsehair bits. Rocks. Time to cut some more sprue. Let me move on to the next one. Takes a lot more sprue than I thought I was going to, but that's okay. I underestimated just a smidge. How about anyone else? We got any more favorite chapters or war bands or guard regiments? I am open to discuss. I guess Xenos too. I just might have to burn them after. I'm off. Have fun. It's 3 a.m. and I need to sleep. Oh boy. All right. Well, thanks for joining. Be sure to tune in next time, whenever that is. I'm not really sure. I don't have a full schedule figured out yet. But thanks for the chat. Something a little shorter.
cut another one down. Stick some super glue on this. For anyone else who has been joining in, we have been discussing favorite chapters, favorite warbands, favorite regiments, favorite Xenos. We don't have to talk about those, but if you want to, I guess we can, because this is a 40k safe space. It's up to you, I guess. Probably too much glue, but it's fine. Yeah, so currently my favorite canon Space Marine chapter, Lamenters. It has been from the first moment that I heard about them. It's probably the fact that, you know, everybody loves the underdog, but I vibe with them. I vibe with the depressed boys. So that's why I made a Lamenter successor. Because I wanted my own depressed boys. But my boys are not only depressed, they are also extremely anxious because they don't want the same reputation as the Lamenters. Namely, everyone thinking that they're traitors. So, if anyone else would like to share their favorite chapter, favorite warband, favorite guard regiment, favorite Xenos, as I've said many, many, many times, you don't have to share those, but I guess if you want to. This is my last base for this Death Company. So I'll probably be finishing up, wrapping up the stream after this. So if you want to get in favorites, I will stick around and we can talk about them. I am not opposed to such things. Maybe you don't have one. If you don't, that's absolutely fine, because the 40k universe is vast. Sorry, my voice cracked a little bit there. I've been talking a long time. And it's also nearing my bedtime, because I've been awake since about 3 a.m. this morning. That was redundant. 3 a.m. As soon as I get all this PVA and then put down my cobblestone, then I gotta wait overnight for it to dry. And then once it dries, I can seal it. Seal all of these, and then put the Marines on top, and then prime them, and then get them ready for painting. Alright, that's a good rock, right? I think that's a good rock. I'm gonna add some more BVA, just cause. Got a little thin putting it on the rock. Spread that around. Like I said, we'll be wrapping up after this. If no one... I should have seen that coming. Cool. Alright. If no one else has any favorites or any of your own armies that you would like to discuss, favorite units, favorite factions, favorite sub-factions, limited time offer as long as this stream lasts. if anyone speaks up, I'll probably stick around a little longer. Sorry, that was cringe even for me. I'm tired. No takers? That's cool. Dunk this in some sand and then we will call it a night. Because it is my bedtime. All right. Ton of glue. Not sure what I want to do with these yet. They all got squished up. That's not what I wanted. Call that good. And then, I don't know if I'll do it on stream, but tomorrow, at some point, I will be sealing these and getting them ready for these boys to be mounted atop. So, without further ado, thanks for everyone who joined. Thanks for everyone who chatted. We will be back at some point in the future. Probably not long. I say that. Life might take over. But I will see everyone later.